Hello and welcome to Freddy's Power Rankings. Plenty to get through today with the great man Brad Fittler, who joins me in Tracy's studio. Hello to you, Brad.
Boom. How are you?
You love being in here, don't you?
Love it. All
right, let's rip into it today. Your power rankings starting from 10, going up to 1. The Sydney Roosters, they have slipped 3 spots after that defeat.
Took a tumble
from the Dragons on Anzac Day. The Rabbitohs, they're in there, despite being out at last week and losing to the Broncos. Speaking of the Broncos, they've gone from 10 to 8, Brad, on the back of that win.
Been very inconsistent this year, the Broncos. I don't think anyone really give them a chance. Last week against the Bunnies, they've been in such fine form, but they just found a way. Corey Oates played a huge part in them finding a way. Lovely kick. That's Opachet scoring the nails. Darius Boyd, scoring the try. Nick Aremba played his role coming off the bench. A really good team performance. Jack Bird and Milford should get a bit of confidence out of their performance in the halves, and they've got the Bulldogs this week, so they might be able to grow on that.
The Cronulla Sharks, they go from, on your power rankings, up a spot.
Just one. They fought hard.
They did. They got the Eels this weekend. The Tigers.
Field goals.
A couple of losses, and they've gone from 6 to 5. Ooh. And the Knights, well, everyone thought they were gone without Mitchell Pearce. Anything but, Brad, gone from 9th to 5th. They've
been great, the Knights. I keep thinking, why are they winning? Connor Watson hasn't played for a while. Come in, scored a beautiful try against the Manly team. The fact is they got Manly at a very good time from their perspective. Yep. Callum Ponga, once again, just proving to be very hard to control at the moment. But they're just playing with plenty of spirit. They've got South Sydney this week, which will be a great game. The fact South got beat last week, it'll be very interesting to see how they go. But they're a good footy team.
The Warriors, they got the wobbles and they've felt the full wrath in your power rankings this week after their thumping from the Storm. They've gone from 1st to 4th.
They let in 50.
You cursed them.
50.
50, that hurts. And the Panthers, they sit above them, leapfrogging them from 6th to 3rd on the back of that 22-14 victory against the Dogs on Friday night. Yeah,
it was a bit of a shaky start. They got a few injuries. Viliama Kickout went out to the centres and they allowed 2 tries in that side of the field, and everything then just come together. Tyrone Peachey's playing super at the moment at 5'8", and Moses Leota coming off the bench to score that try. Jimmy Maloney had one of those games, just never gave in. When everyone started to look a bit wobbly, he just straightened them up and kept them in the game and come up with a nice pass there that led to that try. But all in all, really strong performance by the Panthers under tough circumstances. They've got a lot of injuries at the moment. Oh, yeah. Huge game against the Cowboys.
Well, they're second on the official ladder. The Dragons, they sit in 1st at the moment, and they've gone in the power rankings from 3rd to 2nd on the back of that Anzac Day win over the Roosters. But in top spot from 2nd to 1st, the Melbourne Storm 50 points to 10 over the Warriors, and you've rewarded them with top spot, Brad.
There was a time when I really found it hard to watch Melbourne play. Their work ethic and toughness has always been at a standard that not many other teams can hold. But watching them of late, they just seem to be doing this constantly, just kicking to each other, just fully supporting each other, watching Josh Adokar find another level of speed. Look, wow.
On Roger Tuivasa-Sheck.
I wonder what sort of an athlete Josh would have been, 200, 400 metre runner. He just seems to have levels of speed. But not only they're tenacious and they work hard for each other at the moment, they're just looking awesome. Yep. So it's hard to deny them the top spot.
OK, well done to the Melbourne Storm. Let's see how the player rankings fare after the 8th round of the competition. Corey Oates, off the back of that performance that you've praised, Brad Fittler, he has made his way into your top 10 this week.
Yeah, the big horse. When I think of the Broncos teams that did so well, I go back to Michael Hancock and Willie Kahn and Wendell Sala and Lottie Takiri, Justin Hodges, all these big outside backs that come in and just power through you. And when he's not there, they miss so much. They miss these sort of metres coming out of trouble there. They feel like they're easy metres because he seems to do them with ease. But there's not many individuals that have the speed and the size and the power to just break tackles at will. He is a fantastic player. He's got up against the Dogs this week, so he'll be up against Marcelo Montoya. So I'm sure he'll have his work cut out for him.
OK, it's interesting to see the next 9 players in your power rankings were all there last week. There's just been a bit of moving and shaking from within. Benji Marshall has slipped down to 9th from 6th on the back of the Tigers' loss. Damien Cook has dropped to 8th to second.
That's a huge drop.
From second spot, that's 6 spots. That hurts.
God.
But they did go down to the Broncos. Andrew Fittler.
You want to pop his ears. It's a big drop.
The big man from 10 to 7. Big Fittler gets into 7th spot. Regan Campbell-Gillard promoted from 9th to 6th after the Panthers win over the Doggies. Cameron Smith, he's still up there, but he did actually drop a spot despite that big win for the Melbourne Storm. But it's one of his teammates who's jumped ahead of him into 4th. Billy Slater from 8th on the back of that 40-point victory.
It's been outstanding, Billy. You wonder where it all ends for Billy. He just seems to be getting better and better and better.
You called him Benjamin Button last week.
He's Benjamin Button, all right. He's supporting.
Right. Oh, good ball.
Curtis got to be spewing that he didn't get the try, but he's just everywhere, Billy, and his competitiveness obviously stands above nearly every other player in the competition, but his support play is incredible. Speed, he's lost nothing.
Yep. Just going to keep on going, Billy Slater. James Maloney.
It's like Joe Dirt. Keep on keeping on.
He certainly is. So is this bloke from 5th to 3rd. Another standout performance, as you mentioned before, for the Panthers. But in 2nd spot, drum roll from 3rd to 2nd, Caleb Ponga.
Wow.
At number 1 for the Knights last week. He's a fullback, but he plays like a half. And look at the speed, the skill, and that's why he's all the talk in terms of Queensland origin this year, Brad.
That's the surge. That's the one that scares the coaches. The one where he doesn't pass, he just surges at the line. He's got to be 95, 100 kilo, Caleb Ponga. I wouldn't know what he weighs, but when he hits that line with that power and balance, and then he's got that as the alternative, it makes it very hard for defence to control what he's doing at the moment. He's a brilliant player. No one's worked him out yet, so I'm not sure when they will, but he's just he's inspiring a lot of young kids at the moment.
All right, so is this bloke, I reckon. He's inspiring Andrew Johns, I know that, to say the least. The number 1 player in Freddy's power rankings after 8 rounds, and he stays there. Jack de Belin of the Dragons, bro.
Jack de Belin, what a performance on Anzac Day. It wasn't so much what he did on the field. Well, it was to do with what he does on the field, but he just seems to be encapsulating that whole team spirit thing, and it's what is really on the back of the Dragons' success about putting their club first. There were just moments there. There was one where the Roosters were attacking their line and they defended and they ended up going for the goal, and that's his reaction.
Look at that.
And I thought there was a reaction when Tyson Frizzell got man of the match, and that was his reaction to that. But yeah, at the moment, he's doing everything right for his team, and I think across the board, the Dragons have got a very similar attitude. So it's great watching the Dragons.
All right, Jack, there you go. Freddie's rewarded you. Couple of weeks, good form. Keep it up, leading up to June 6. Brad Fittler, as always, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Freddie's power rankings after 8 rounds. Bring on the 9th in the National Rugby League.